Yeah.
Warner Anderson?
Werner Anderson.
Chuck
Don't
shop.
worry about it, he said. Go ahead. So found a two-door Chevy. So got it, and so Al ended to drive home by himself, and we drove home in the new car. It was a two-door. I'd have had a hell of a time getting in and out of that car. I'd have to sit in the back seat so she could have the front seat, because her bones were like mine.
Was it that green one? That green car?
It was light blue. Then we got the Chevy. Then was four doors. So.
The green one after that.
No, that was one of our new ones, the green one. But we had another blue one with four doors. He's permitted to lay there. And I think we got the four door so poor Ida could get into the car. Because we were their way of getting around. Because Matt didn't keep his car.
Where'd Matt sit?
Where is it?
Where'd Matt sit?
He seldom went. Well, if they went, maybe he would go in the back. Most often, we took Ida shopping.
Oh.
And Matt would stay at the house.
Yeah.
What was your next car then? You got rid of the blue one. What was your first really brand new one?
A green one that was, we signed up at Ricola for a car, because cars were hard to come during the war. They'd come in maybe one or two at a time, and someone would be on the list to get them. And we were on the list before some of them that Ricola sold to ahead of us. We were dumb farmers, and Ricola probably figured there was no money there. Someone else got the new cars that came in. So I think he got a Chevy at the when the older Ricola was there. Four door. Harriet was in the apartments because she worked at the school. Remember that greenhouse with apartments there?
Yeah.
Are you taping this?
Uh-uh.
And I stayed there while he went downtown to get it. How did he get downtown? I don't remember. And then he drove the car back in. So Harriet got to see it first.
Harriet got to see it first.
And we had that green one for quite a while.
And then got the 60, the blue one,
Yeah, the
the
60.
Chevy.
And then we had a pickup, the old pickup. Then got a new, updated to a newer one.
I was impressed that you took Cicero and Adeline up to Duluth to buy a vehicle.
Needed to ride up there.
Well, we went there, they were friends of ours, and knew probably there was a good choice there, rather a used one in Aiken.
Well, probably more of a choice because, I mean, at that time, I'm sure the vehicles were limited.
Yeah, and we couldn't afford a brand new one, so we went with a used car.
I remember Heidi talking about that too. It was hard to get a car.
Did you pay payments or did you have cash in the pocket to pay that car?
Cash, are you kidding? Probably borrowed it from the bank and then paid it off by selling a cow or bull calf or...
So when Dad went to school and you guys bought a refrigerator and Dad got $100 a month or a paycheck and he would pay $75 towards the purchase of the land or the farm.
The $75 was a check from the government for as many months or years you spent in the service. So rather than saving that or using it to buy potatoes or whatever, he took it to the bank and it was on where we bought the house and land from Arnold Eld.
But I remember him telling me he got a $100 check and 75 went to the land, 24 went for the payment of the...
I think the 75 was a total of that check.
refrigerator and he had $1 left over.
Yeah.
Do you remember
We
that?
bought the refrigerator on time payments at the Gamble store.
Right.
Or maybe he took money out of the... All the veterans got a check for being in the service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably their...
Harris probably had his gambled away.
He'll be 90 in February, Harris.
I'll be darned.
He'll be 90. Yeah, I can remember Dad talking too about spending so much on that on the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe paying it off, or
Yeah. Well, then you guys were one of the first ones to have a television set.
Yeah.
Pretty lucky.
Melville and John would come over and would see a program once in a while, and we'd play whist.
Well, and Burrs would come over on Friday night and watch boxing. Millie and Abby.
They would come to Charlie's too to watch wrestling too. Are you taking notes there, Biffers? Huh?
and then he'd ask if Darbo's awake.
And who was Darbo?
Me.
Well, that would be Deborah.
That would be me.
And then there's a Melville that dropped his foot on Barbara's foot. Yeah, and she didn't dare pull away.
When it was John Sandy that would come with a little bag of candy, I want to know if Darbo
Is Darbo up?
is Darbo up. No, Darbo's sleeping.
He'd have a sack of candy for Darbo.
Darbo.
But she was in bed, so she never got the whole sack of candy.
Probably didn't get any of it.
Did you ever get it?
I don't
remember if I ever gave you
I
a
don't
whole sack of
I
candy.
don't remember.
What happened when the Watkins man got mumps from us kids?
I forgot about that.
got
Didn't he get
mumps?
chicken pox too? From
What?
you guys?
Mm-hmm.
I think he got chicken pox.
What happened to Melville?
He cut off his toes. He cut one, and Clauseway cut one.
But when he got the mumps, didn't I remember you saying it went down on him? And I thought, what the heck does that mean?
Well, he became sterile. I don't remember
Probably
that.
couldn't have
He
any-
was that anyway, I think. I think he was that anyway.
His voice was kind of,
Oh,
I remember him. He'd come to the farm too.
he'd always come about noon on his route because he knew we'd be having a snack, and then he'd come in and eat with us. Chain smoker, oh my. Of course, Willard was smoking at the time too, and probably me. Yeah, he and John would come over a couple times. John Standy didn't have a car, so Melville would pick him up and play whist.
He was the guy that would come into the Paulson store and ask you for a root beer, Jenser.
Jensen. He'd come up to the bar, and I was behind the bar. Maybe shouldn't have been, but, you know, and I don't know where Kate was, probably in the back or somewhere. And Paul, of course, he was sitting on his rear end. He wasn't very ambitious. But anyway, Kate did all the work. You remember Paul.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wasn't very ambitious.
No,
He moved at a snail's pace, but anyway, he'd come in and sit at the, I think we had stools by the
yeah,
bar.
yeah.
Jensen, it was a hot day, though. Give me a bottle of wood beer.
I don't know, root beer, Jensen.
Then they had a rocking chair up in the front part of the
Yeah.
store too. And Paul probably sat in that.
Yeah, Paul did, but, you know, John would come over there a lot when I was working.
Oh yeah, he'd sit in that rocker too, because he could walk over there.
Yeah.